Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course today we're going to be looking at the structure of the tooth. Alright, do not forget that this tutorial is brought to you by the O3 Schools JAMB CBT practice application. It is all you need to succeed in your exam. Let us look at a JAMB past question from the application to show that of course, this is necessary in your exam. This is a 2016 JAMB past question, okay, number 43. And it says here, the part of the human tooth that is sensitive to heat and cold is the A says pulp cavity, B says enamel, C says dentin, D says gum. All right. So we'll come back to this question to answer, as well as many other questions at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools, we believe in giving you value first. Let us teach you, and after we've taught you, there's no question that will come your way that you'll not be able to surmount. All right. Also, do not forget to download the application. The app has all you need to succeed in your exam. If you want to pass your JAMB exam at once, you need that application. All right. The app has all the past questions that you need for all the subjects in one application. The app also has some wonderful features, of course, like the classroom feature with lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus for all your subjects. And likewise, there's a wonderful feature like the question search feature, which we use to search for this question on that tooth right now. Of course, you can search for any question on any topic, and then the question that JAMB has set under that topic will come out for you to answer. What is more also is that we have the mock challenge on the app every Saturday morning by 10 a.m. Every Saturday morning. It's not just one mock. We have successive mock, series of mock exam. In that mock exam, all students that are writing JAMB for this year come to the application to compete. Apart from competing, they get used to JAMB past question, JAMB likely exam question, and receive weekly prizes as rewards. All right. Likewise, we see your results released every Saturday, thereby we're building your confidence and making to track your progress of preparation. So please ensure you download the application and ensure you activate. Activation fee is not even up to the price of rice and chicken, as I and you are speaking right now in a good restaurant. So please do not be stingy to yourself. This is your feature. Download the application and start now. All right, so let us look at the structure of the tooth today. And of course, the first thing we should take note of is that the tooth, okay, and the bone, okay, they look similar, all right, in appearance, but they are very, very, very different. They are very, very different. The tooth has three major parts. Three major parts. One is the crown, okay, two is the neck, and three is the root, okay, of the tooth. Okay, so those are the three major parts of the teeth. Okay, we have the crown, we have the neck, then we now have the root. So let's look into one of them, one after the other. So the crown. So the crown is the visible part of the tooth. Okay, the crown is the visible part of the tooth. Okay, extending out of Extending out of the gum or tissues is the visible part of the tooth above the neck. Okay, as you can see, the three parts here from our structure on the building on the board. Okay, you can see the crown. This is the crown from here to here. They will now have the neck from here to here. They will now have the root from here to here. The larger portion is is the root. Okay, so now this crown, all right, we said it is it is the top. Okay, it is the top. It is the visible portion of the tooth that is that is above the neck. Okay, that is extending out of the gum tissues. This is the gum tissues here. This one here, this is gum tissues, the gingival tissues. Okay, the gum tissues. All right, these are the gum tissues. Okay, so the crown is the visible portion of the teeth. Okay, that is above the neck. All right, and extending out of the gum tissues. And this crown is covered in a hard layer of of enamel. All right, so we'll talk about enamel soon, but just know that this crown is covered in a hard layer of enamel, and it also covers the dentin. It covers the dentin and the underlying pulp chamber and the pulp. All right, so please take note of that. So it covers both the dentin and the underlying pulp chamber and the pulp. That is the crown. Now the neck. All right, the neck is also called the cemento-enamel junction. Also called the cemento-enamel junction. Okay, cemento-enamel junction, CEJ for short. It's also called the cervical line. cervical line. All right. So the neck is also called the cemento enamel junction, and it's also called the cervical line. And it is the neck that allows for the attachment of of the gums to the teeth. Okay, it allows for the attachment of the gums to the teeth. Please take note of that. And it's also what represents the area where the cemento enamel junction, it represents the area where the crown's enamel layer, coincides or meets the cementum. Okay, the cementum layer of the tooth root. This cementum is found in the root of the teeth. Okay, so the neck also what represent the area where the crown's enamel layer, all right, meets the cementum layer of the tooth root. Okay, so that is the neck of the tooth. Now we'll now talk about the root. Okay, the root is of course the larger portion, okay, that is extending out of the neck. All right, that is what the cemento enamel junction is, the larger portion. Okay, you can see after the neck we now have the root. So the root is the larger portion extending out of the cemento enamel junction, or the cervical line to the root's apex. This is the apex of the root, the tip of the root. All right, so this is the top of the root. So the root extends from the cemento enamel junction, which is the neck, to the root apex. All right, so please take note of that. And of course, the root also is covered in a protective layer called the cementum. Just as the crown is covered in the enamel, all right, the root is covered in a protective layer called the cementum. All right, okay. Then also it is important to know that some teeth, like for example the incisors, may have just one root. Okay, but the molars can have 2 or 3 roots. Please take note of that. All right. So the incisors can have just one root, but the molars can have 2 to 3 roots. So it's very, very worthy of note. The root is also secured to a socket. Okay, it's secured to a socket. Okay, of alveolar bone. As you can see, you can see the bones here. The bones here. These are the bones. These are the bones. All right. So the root is also secured to a socket. Of alveolar bone, bones, okay, that are found in the mandible or the maxilla. That is the jaw bones that are found in the jaw bones. Okay, so the root, like I say, it is secured to a socket of alveolar bone in the mandible or the maxilla. That is the jaw bones. So those are the three major parts of the tooth: the crown, the neck, and the root. Now, these 3 major parts of the tooth are made up of 4 major tissues, which I'm going to look at right now. All right, so they're made up of 4 major tissues. Those 4 major tissues are: number 1, we have the enamel. Then number 2, we have the cementum. Number 3, we have the dentin. This dentin can also be spelled as dentin, like this. Okay, either T-I-N-E or T-I-N. All right. Then number 4, we now have we have enamel, the cementum, dentin. Then number 4, we now have the pulp. Okay, so these 3 major parts are made up of 4 major tissues, which are the enamel, the cementum, the dentin, and the pulp. Okay, so I'm now going to take each of them one after the other. Now, the enamel, like I've said, the enamel is the hardened layer of the tooth crown. Okay, it's the hardened layer of the tooth crown, and the enamel does not have any living tissues. It does not consist of any living tissues like vessels, like nerves or cells. It does not have any living tissue. Instead, it is comprised of a dense arrangement. Okay, the enamel is comprised of a dense arrangement of minerals. Okay, it is comprised of a dense arrangement of minerals. Okay, it is comprised of a dense arrangement of minerals. Example of such mineral is hydroxyapatites. Okay, so there's no space here. It's one word, hydroxyapatite. That is an example of the mineral. The formula of this mineral is Ca10. Okay, PO46OH what 2. All right. It is made up of what? Of a dense arrangement of minerals such as what? Hydroxy what? Apatite. Now, the enamel is the hardest substance in the human body. Take note of that. The enamel is the hardest substance in the human body. But however, in fact, it is harder than what? Than your bones. The enamel is harder than your bones. Okay. The enamel is made up of 95% minerals. 95% minerals. Okay. That is what the enamel. In fact, your bones is made up of like 65%. 65% minerals. So the enamel is harder. Is the hardest substance in the human body. It's harder than your bones. Okay. Now, despite it being what? A very, very hard substance, it can be dissolved, okay? It can be what? Dissolved by what? By acid. It can be dissolved by acid that is produced by dental plaque, okay? It can be dissolved by acid produced by dental plaque. Dental plaque. What I mean by dental plaque? Dental plaque. Okay, PLAQUE. Okay, it can be dissolved by the acid produced by what? By dental or plaque. Dental plaque are what? Those sticky bacteria that forms on the teeth. Okay, they produce what? Acid. Okay, so it's when this acid is what is produced by this dental plaque. Okay, it can lead to what? To the formation of cavities on the teeth. Okay, it can lead to the formation of cavities. CAVITIS. It can lead to the formation of cavities on what? On the teeth. Also, eating acidic food, like let's say oranges, like grape, okay? Eating like lemon, eating acidic foods like oranges, grapes, and lemon can also what? Temporarily soften the enamel. Can temporarily what? Soften the enamel. And that is why dental health professionals, okay, dentists, let me say dentists, doctor of the teeth. That's why dental health professionals will advise you that you should wait for like 30 to 60 minutes after consuming acidic food before you want to brush your teeth, so that you not brush off your tooth with enamel. All right. So please take note of that. So that is the enamel. It is the hardest substance in the human body. Okay, and then of course it what? Covers what? The crown of what? Of the tooth. Okay, it is the hardening layer of what? Of the tooth's what? Crown. All right, so please take note of that. That is the enamel. Now let us talk about the next one, which is what? The cementum. The cementum. All right, now the cementum, all right, is like I said, all right, the cementum covers what? The tooth root. Okay, just like how the enamel, which is what? The hardened layer of the crown. Okay, the cementum is what? Is the protective layer, or is the protective cover of what? Of the tooth's what? Root. Okay, it's the protective layer of the tooth root. It is produced by cells known as cementoblasts. It is produced by cells known as what? Cementoblasts. Please take note of that. It is produced by cells known as cementoblasts. And cementum has what? A light yellow appearance. Cementum has a light yellow appearance. Okay, cementum has a light yellow appearance and has lower mineral concentration. It has lower mineral concentration and has lower mineral concentration than both the enamel and the dentin, thereby making cementum the softer among what? These two tissues. Okay, cementum is softer than what? Than the enamel and the dentin. Okay, like I've told you, the enamel is the hardest substance in the human body, containing about 95% mineral content. Okay, the dentin contains about 70% mineral content. Even the bone in your body contains 65%, about 65% mineral content. That means the dentin is even harder than the bone. All right. So in terms of hardness, it's enamel, dentin before bone. Okay. Then of course the cementum, all right, is made up of about 45 to 50% mineral content. Okay. So that means that cementum is what? Is softer than both the enamel, and is softer rather than both the dentin and enamel, making it what? Is softer among what? The two what? Among the three tissues. Okay, the cementum is softer among what? The enamel and the dentin. Now, the periodontal ligament. This periodontal ligament you are seeing here, it surrounds and attaches itself to the what? To the root cementum. Okay, it attaches and surrounds itself to the what? To the cementum, and anchors it to the alveolar process of the jawbone. It anchors it to the alveolar process of what? Of this jawbone, as you can see what this bones here. Okay, so this periodontal ligament attaches and surrounds itself with what? With this root cementum. Okay, and then it anchors it to the what? To the alveolar, that is, okay, I've claimed it, alveolar process of what? Of the jawbone. Please take note of that. Also, this cementum also is among one of the 4 tissues that we call the periodontium. Okay, we have what? Some tissues that we call the periodontium. Okay, so this periodontium, they provide support for the wall for the teeth. That's why you're not just walking and your teeth will just fall out of your mouth. Okay, because of what? These tissues that we call the periodontium. So the cementum is among one of the 4 tissues that we know as what? That we call what? The periodontium. The other tissues, apart from this cementum, okay, so the periodontium consists of 4 tissues. One is the cementum. Then another one is what? Is this alveolar bone. Okay, alveolar bone that we're talking about since. Alveolar bone that we're talking about. Then number 3, the gum. All right, the gum also. And then number 4, the periodontal ligaments. Okay, so these are the 4 tissues that we know as well, that we call what? The periodontium. All right, they give the teeth support. That is why you can be walking confidently on the road and your teeth will not fall on the ground. So another tissue, okay, we have looked at what? The enamel, we'll look at what? The cementum. So the 3rd tissue is what? The dentin. Okay, so another tissue, okay, that this 3 major part is made up of is what? Is the dentin. Okay, this dentin is another very, very hardened tissue. Okay, just that word that looks like what? Like the bone. It's a bone-like tissue. It's a bone-like tissue that is deep to the what? To the crown. To the crown and what? To the roots of what? Of the tooth. Okay, it is very, very deep to the what? To the tooth's crown and the what? And the roots of what? Of the teeth. Okay, it is produced by cells. It is produced and maintained by cells known as the odontoblasts. Okay, known as the odontoblasts. Okay, for cementum, we say cementoblasts, produced by cells known as cementoblasts. But for what? The dentin, okay, it is what? Odontoblasts. Okay, so please take note of what? Of that. So we say it is deep. This what? Dentin is deep to both what? The tooth's crown and what? And the tooth's what? Root. All right. Now the dentin also, like I said, I've told you it has what? 70% what? Mineral what? Content rather, making it what? Harder than what? Even what? The bones, but definitely softer than the what? Than the enamel, because the enamel is still what? Harder than the what? Than the dentin. So you have to what? Take note of what? Of that. Now the junction where the dentin meets what? The enamel, okay, meets what? The enamel is called the dentino-enamel junction. Okay, the junction where what? The dentin meets what? The enamel of what? Of the tooth's crown is called the dentino-enamel junction. Okay, which is called the DEJ for short. Okay, dentino-enamel junction. Why the junction where the what? The dentin meets what? The cementum. Okay, is called the dentino. Okay, dentino-cemental junction. Okay, dentino-cemental junction, which is what? DCJ for what? For short. Please take note of what? Of that. Okay, so the dentin accounts for the what? For most of the mass of what? Of the tooth. It accounts for most of the mass of what? Of the tooth. And like I said, it is what? Definitely was softer than what? Than the enamel. All right, but of course it is what? Harder than the what? Than the bones. All right, so the last tissue we want to talk about now is what? Is the pulp. Okay, the pulp is a very, very soft tissue. It's a very, 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 very soft tissue. Okay, it's a very, very soft tissue. That's what the pulp cavity. Okay, that is found in the pulp cavity of what? Of each tooth. The pulp is a soft tissue that is found in the pulp cavity of each tooth. All right, so please take note of what? Of that. Now, the pulp cavity we're talking about has 2 main parts. It has 2 main parts. One is the narrow root canal. One is called the narrow root canal. Okay, the narrow root canal. Okay, of what? Of the roots. Okay, and then number 2, now have what? The larger pulp chamber of the larger pulp chamber of what? Of the what? Of the crown. Of the crown. Okay, so the what? The pulp cavity is made up of two main parts. One is what? The narrow root canal of what? Of the roots or roots. Then what? The larger pulp chamber of what? Of the crown. Now, the root canal we're talking about, it originates at a small hole, okay, in the what? In the root of what? Of the tooth, called the apical foramen, okay? So the root canal, the narrow root canal originates from a small hole in the what? In the root of what? Of the tooth, that we call what? The apical foramen. That's the apical foramen here. Apical, A-P-I-C-A-L, foramen, okay? Called what? The apical foramen, all right? So please take note of that also. Now, the pulp tissue consists of what we call odontoblast nerves and what? And cells. Okay? Consists of what? Odontoblast, what? Nerves and what? And cells. In simple form, it means that what? That nerves and cells are found in what? In the what? In the pulp. Okay? Present in what? In the pulp cavity. Okay? So that is that. And it's this nerves, okay, and cells are what provide the tooth with nutrition. Okay, provide with nutrition, provide the what? Because this part is very, very important, provides the what? The tooth with nutrition, okay, and sensation, and even immune deficiency. Okay, and even immune deficiency, as well as secretions that maintain the dentin, as well as secretions that what? That maintain what? This dentin. Okay, so please take note of that. So the pulp tissues that we said is what consists of what we call odontoblast nerves and what? And cells. And it is what? These nerves and cells that provide the tooth with nutrition, provide the tooth with what? With sensation, provide the tooth with what? Immune deficiency, as well as secretions that maintain what? The dentin. Okay, so in the previous episode, we talked about dentition. We talked about what? The 4 types of teeth: the incisors, the canines, the premolars, and molars. So we'll not talk about it in this class again because we're already done with that. So now we're also going to go to the O3 School JAMB app, answer questions, and we are out of here. So let us see the questions from the application. The 2016 question we're looking at, number 43, says, the part of the human tooth that is sensitive to heat and cold. Okay, so sensitivity, okay, it happens, sensation, okay, where does it happen? In the pulp cavity, all right? So it is the pulp tissues, all right, that give us that sensation, okay, that give us that nutrition, that gives us what? Immune deficiency, as well as what? Secretion that maintain our dentin. So it's definitely what? The pulp cavity. A says pulp cavity, B says enamel, C says dentin, D says gum. Okay, it's not the gum. Now let's look at another question, 1997, number 14. We're given a diagram. We say we're told to use the diagram to answer the question. They say the part that is similar to the bone is labeled. A says IV, B says III, C says II, D says what? I. Okay, obviously that eye is what? Is enamel. Okay, but that's the visible portion of what? Of the tooth above what? The neck. Then number 2 is immediately followed by what? By the dentin, okay, or by the dentin, as we call it. Then, of course, number 3, the way it is drawn could look like what? The gum, okay, or what? The pulp cavity. All right, so anyone you call it, okay, so long what? Obviously, it cannot be what? The one that look like what? Bone. All right, so the what is really there should not be what to make not to get this answer. So number 4 is what? The cementum. All right, so the part that looks like the bone, okay, that is similar to the bone is what? Is the dentin. Okay, it's a bone-like. That's what a bone-like structure. All right, and of course they almost have what? The same mineral concentration. Just that the dentin is harder, a little bit harder than the bone. Okay, so our answer there will be obviously II, which is what? Option C. All right, so please download this application. Make sure you want to practice with it. There are many other questions on the application. When you get the application and you start using the question answer feature as well as study with the application, you will discover many questions that JAMB has set from this question. So please make good use and take advantage of this application for your own success. I'll see you in the next class where we'll talk about a different topic. Thank you for watching.